Hello. Today I want to do something a little different and talk about PIGFACE. I think that they call it like a kinetic shooter. I just call it a tactical shooter. It's Hotline Miami adjacent. I'd call it more like Fear than anything, but not by like too much. It is very fun. I recommend it highly. The game looks great. The guns look great. The guns sound great. Everything sounds great. The VO is nice. The music, I think it's by Still Crisp is the name, at least like the Twitter handle. Fantastic stuff, incredible stuff, all throughout. The gameplay is good and fun and different, and like an almost imsimi. And it's not really imsimi. It's almost imsimi. It's imsimi in like the same way like Dark Messiah is like an imsim, in that like there's spike traps and you can kick people into it, and there's like multiple ways of going out of level. The main thing I want to talk about, because this isn't like a review, I would have scripted it if it were a review. It's not a review. Is my one pet peeve with this game, which feels like such a mean thing to make a video about, but I do have exactly one pet peeve with this game, and I'm gonna make a video about it. Damn it, which I do think it's a little too easy. This might be me being a cracked out zoomer, or it might be that I like my favorite game of all time is Blood, and therefore I just want the pain. I want it to be like a game that is almost unfun with how difficult it is, but I do find it a little easy. I just want to talk about like what I would maybe recommend in terms of making the game harder while still sort of keeping it in the same realm. So, and first off, there is like the most like Blood answer to it, which is just like upping the damage wildly. There's already it's like the shotgun can kill you, but only like the special vested guys have the shotgun, I think, and they're not like super common. So you could just make more enemies one shot you. With that being said, I think you look at a game like Blood, and the reason that the sort of extremely high damage gameplay of that game works is that you have dynamite, right? And you have like this way of very powerfully like dealing with enemies around corners. And I think that this game doesn't have that, so I don't think that's like really a good solution. If you could, it's not impossible or unprecedented. I just like maybe wouldn't go with it first. You could just increase the number of enemies, which would also, this is a very small nitpick, I think that the music fades out a little too quick, because it's like in combat music, and I think it fades out a little quick. And if you had more enemies, it would solve that, and also solve just like ammo management is almost a thing in this game. Like you can see in this clip, I end the level with 20 rounds, but also it loops. I'm sorry, I only grabbed like some footage. There's also like a vest that you can take that gives you more ammo. So it's like not that much of an issue. If you wanted to like make enemies more dense and then like make the game more about weapon swapping and like taking up new weapons, that would be okay. That's also a thing you can do, certainly. My personal solution would be to expand the optional challenges system, because in the current game there's one level with 3 optional challenges, which is the endless mode, which I will be cribbing, or not the endless, but the holdout survival mode, which I will be cribbing heavily from for my suggestions. But also every other level has one optional challenge, which is like in this one it's get the 3 luxury drugs. In a lot of them it's like kill all the enemies in the level instead of most of them, or just like touch your targets. My suggestions go about as such. I think like what I've been doing a lot in this game is either like melee only, which I think would be a fun challenge as well, or like starting with nothing, or if you want it to be a little less mean, just starting with like a pistol and like no healing, no melee, no mask, no vest. I think that would be fun, and it would also be like, hey, you're incentivized to be swapping weapons a lot and being like sort of playing around cover more. I think something like a time bomb, like maybe Post Void, where it's like you just get time for killing enemies, or something like the Outlast trials, where like around places where there would be medicine, you would have sort of some like pickup that let you like increase the amount of time you have. on your time bomb. I think that would be fun. I think like adding some sort of like time crunch, because I think you can play this game sort of very like methodically clearing the place, and like I think having some sort of like, hey, you got a time pressure on, you got a clock on, it would be fun. A ghost mode would be interesting, like Thief, where it's like you can only kill your targets and nothing else. Or something like Thief, where you would have where you'd be required to get all like the optional little like scraps and medical stuff. I don't think that would be very fun. But you go with it. Something like the environmental kill challenges in the current the holdout mode, which is like you have to kill a certain number of enemies with spikes, saw blades, fire, like environmental kills. I think that would be neat. I think you would also maybe have to do the the enemy density changes, like add more enemies into every level, just because I think it would be frustrating to like get locked out of your clear just by like there's not enough enemies, or like you screw up once and it's like, oh, it's over. Something like the set, like, because like the whole level has like a set loadout, or I was thinking like it's like the Splatoon DLC, where you have like a set of three, like you have three set loadouts, and I think that would maybe be fun, where you're forced. It is funny because like I think a lot of people talk about like how like there's so many guns in this game and so cool, and that is true. I think it's like fun to have all these approaches, and all of my suggestions are, well, not all of my suggestions, but a number of my suggestions are like, what if you just like had less choice? But I like less choice. I think it's neat. I think being sort of forced into these things like a melee only or pistol starting or again like having, you can imagine, because something like or even this level to a certain degree with the big long hallways, but like Mall is a level thing of like is having pretty long silence, so being like, hey, you can get more money if you shotgun, like if you have only a shotgun, and so like you're forced to sort of play closer up. Or like Suburbs is like long silence, so you're sort of forced to play closer up. I think something like that would be cool, because I love the game. I think it's really fun. I think it's really neat. I recommend it a lot in its current state. It's just like, I think right now, as it stands, it is not very hard to do. Like, I think it's like, I have to sort of, when I'm playing the game, like, impose these sorts of challenges on myself. And I think, like, sort of canonizing these challenges, or just making the game harder outright. If you want to do that as well, that's cool. But, like, I think sort of canonizing some of these challenges, even something really mean, like, in Cruelty Squad, they added achievements where it's like, if you equip an item that makes you get one shot by everything, then you get like an achievement. So like, I think it would be fun just to like have like no hit achievements or something stupid like that. But like some sort of like, because I've played all these levels like 5 times each, and it's like at a certain point it's like, I mean, it's, you know, I guess it's like dumb to be like, I think there should be more content in this game. I've already played so much, but I want there to be more. Like, I want there to be more sort of extrinsic motivation for me to push myself, you know, and more fun ideas like that. That is my suggestion. Pick up this game, by the way. It's like real cheap. It's really fun. It's really good. Despite the fact that I sent this whole video complaining about how it's not even that easy. I do still die sometimes. It's just not like enough as I would like. It's really fun. I think it's really good. Go pick it up, and I don't know if Tito, I think is the name of the dub. If you see this, steal my suggestions. Bye.